You know, it's interesting when the blacks go to Canada, they're not, you know, they're not necessarily welcome in the white settlements. They're welcome to have their own settlements. So it's, you know, we're not talking about utopia. We're not talking about integrated towns necessarily. Oberlin is kind of unique in the 19th century for being very integrated. So Oberlin becomes the first co-educational institution in the United States. It's pretty cool history. You know, I have to say, I have to give them credit. You know, I'm not local. I have no stake in speaking up for them. I just think that for their time, it's pretty impressive what they were doing here. It really is, and so it's no surprise that it's people from here who have the education who are going north to work with former slaves, and after the Civil War, it's students from here who go into the southern U.S. to do the same thing, to, you know, create schools for black kids and start teaching. Okay, so this is a letter written by Hiram Wilson, and I think Ken is the person you should probably ask more about that. He's got they have his papers. He has a long history with Oberlin College, and this is, you know, this is one part of it. And Hiram Wilson being removed to St. Catherine's in November 1850. Hiram Wilson is one of these people who's going back and forth across the U.S.-Canada border as part of the Underground Railroad. He's not well known like someone like Harriet Tubman is, but he's doing the same sort of thing. And he's not just sneaking people out and then forgetting about them. He's trying to create communities, give them homes, give them professions, give them land, you know, give the kids education. He's trying to create a new life for these people. You know, growing up Canadian, first generation Canadian, because my parents immigrated from somewhere else. And maybe it's less the case today, but I don't know. Canada still is a country of immigrants, right? And the places where people come from have changed, but the fact that we all are kind of, a lot of us are hyphenated Canadians, that hasn't really changed. So you grew up with this idea of, you know, what does it mean to be Canadian? What is Canada's role in North American history? Because, you know, everything's so focused on the U.S. You can't really tease them apart. Doing Canadian history is going to necessarily entail understanding what's happening in the United States. In the 18th century, in the 19th century, the population on this side of the border is many, many times what it is north of the border. The majority of settlement, Anglophone settlement, going into southern Ontario, early Canadian history owes part of its identity to, you know, this reaction to what's going on in the United States, right? So they have a revolution here. A lot of things that get determined later about what's Canada's shape Canada is going to take are, you know, influenced by battles that are being fought in what is now the United States.